But I mean, what did you guys think of the match? I know you guys were. I heard you, Tommy. Definitely heard you out there.
Yeah, that's a given. What is up, heels and baby faces? We are here back with the Countdown City WrestleCast. I, of course, am that guy, Tommy. He, of course, is Big Mike.
What's up, guys?
And we are so fortunate and blessed to have the awesome, amazing, the lovely, the stupendous Gia Michel, aka Miss Michelle, aka Gia Gianni. Gigi Gianni. My bad. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Gia, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Very cool today.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, we are in San Antonio, Texas, where Sunday at 5 it was 70, and then at 5:45 it was 50.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm only kind of exaggerating that, but not by much.
No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, Gia, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. But so let's just jump right into it. You pro wrestling. How did it start with you? Did you watch it as a kid? Was it something you were always into, or how'd you get started with it?
Yeah, I pretty much grew up watching pro wrestling with my older brother. I had uncles that were into it as well, and just grew up with my brother watching it. I looked up to him a lot. So whenever he'd watch it, I'd watch it. Whenever we'd play the video games, we were so into that as well. And then at a time, I was very like a big fan of it at the time, and John Cena was like my favorite. Um, I would go to school and like always wear like the merch and everything. It was kind of something that I just like enjoyed watching. It kind of gave me like confidence seeing the women out there as well. And then I kind of fell off because I got busy with other things and then got back into it and fell in love with it and figured, hey, why not? Why don't I give this a try? So here we are now.
That's awesome. Who are some of your favorites growing up?
China was one of my favorite. I looked up a lot to like Melina, Victoria, Beth Phoenix. The men was like John Cena, Eddie Guerrero. I liked, there was so many that I just like loved. Definitely during the 2006 era was like everyone on that roster was like
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. That was. I think people look back, they kind of forget that was kind of a solid year talent wise. There were a lot of great people on the roster at
Yeah.
that
Oh,
point.
absolutely.
And I think Tommy and I would agree that like Victoria and Beth Phoenix never get enough credit for what they
Not at
did
all.
during their time. But yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the video games. What were some of your favorite games at that point?
All the like SmackDown versus Raw, Shut Your Mouth.
Yeah.
Um, and then like the WWE 2Ks, some of them are pretty good too, but
Yeah.
definitely SmackDown versus Raw was my jam.
Yeah, that run of games was a solid era of the video
Yeah.
games. What made you decide to start training?
Um, it's kind of funny story. Like I just stopped watching wrestling and then all of a sudden I got back into it because I thought, hey, let me see what's going on. Let me see if all the wrestlers I used to watch are still. And then at the time I was living in Phoenix, Arizona, and I had went to the Royal Rumble in 2019
Hmm.
and got to see that live and it was pretty cool and seeing all the women there. I think it was Becky Lynch that won the Royal Rumble that year. And it was just something about it. It was just so like electrifying and I was just like, man, like I miss this, the like nostalgia, like the feeling of it. Like the power in that room, everybody was going crazy. Just the vibe. And I was like, man, why don't I do this? Like, why am I not trying this out? Like, I love this. Like, why don't I go for it? So, when I came back to San Antonio, I did my research and ended up finding the Hybrid School of Wrestling and started training there.
Awesome, awesome. So you said you did research. So clearly you saw that there's like at least probably I think two other schools here, and I think even that time. What made you pick hybrid above the others?
Just like the way they had all the structure and the coaches and everything, and just seeing. I even went to one of their shows. I think it was an RCW show at the time,
Hmm.
and just seeing like the talent, like the graduates and all that. They were amazing, and just like dissecting and seeing like what they do at the school, like all the stuff they would post on social media. I was just so interested in it, and I was like, man, I gotta be there. This is where I want to go train.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the training. When you first started, was it everything you expected? Was it harder than you expected?
I, I,
Go ahead, Mike. I know what you're gonna.
well, I see. I think the real question we want to know, because everyone we've talked to has a story about the first day and that first period of time where it's cardio. Um, did you by chance approach Casey's record for throwing up the first day? And what was that first month like?
Oh man. I honestly like starting and with all the cardio, is like, man, like I was like, oh, this is nothing. Like, I've done sports forever. Like, I'm good, but honestly, like I got my ass kicked. Like, it was crazy. There and everybody was like, oh, you're gonna throw up, like, oh, like she's not gonna make it. Like, it was tough. I would
Yeah,
say it's
Yeah.
definitely tough. Something like I've never done in other sports. Like it's a whole lot, but yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot in the ring for sure, so I'm
that-
grateful for that.
that's awesome. You're like, I'm not gonna throw up. You see, Casey Blackwell's the only one who's gonna be.
So you
Poor
threw
Yeah,
up.
Casey.
yeah, man. So far, he's like the one with the quickest stories out of everyone we've talked to from hybrid. So you said you did other sports. Which what sports did you do before you got into wrestling?
I did sports like, I did basketball, I did baseball, dance. I mostly did
Oh,
dance, like, for a long time. I was involved with, like, a bunch of sports, and then I also did modeling at one point in my life too, so
oh.
kind of all that goes together with, like, wrestling and, like, acting and, entertainment-wise and the athleticism, so I'm grateful for that as well.
I was gonna say that all that experience, I think, just it was like your path to the ring, more or less.
Yeah, it seemed
Pretty
Yeah.
perfect.
much, yeah.
So, when was your? Because I think I might have it wrong, but when was your debut match?
It was back in 2021 of
Okay, I knew.
July.
Yeah.
It was the hybrid, I think it was called Stars and Stripes. That was the name of the
Oh,
show.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what was that like? Like having your first official match? How did that feel?
Oh man, so much emotions. Like, oh God, I couldn't even explain. Like, so much nerves. Like, I was scared, like, but then at the same time, I was excited because I'm like, man, this is it. Like, this is everything that I worked for, everything that I wanted. And very emotional afterwards. Like, I definitely shed a tear or two. So it was nice, but also very cool, like, to go out there and do that because I didn't think I could go out there and like, do this.
Mhm.
But I mean, definitely went out there and did it, and it was pretty cool. I got to have my debut match with Key Vibes.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
I do remember that. That's awesome. So,
Mhm.
from a fan standpoint, I do remember you debuting as Miss Michelle, and then you transferred to the Gia Michelle. What was it like trying to hone in on your character there? What was that process like for you?
Well, fun fact, Miss Michelle actually started when, before I debuted, I was a ring announcer. So we were just rolling with that. Miss Michelle was just going out there. And then afterwards, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm kind of over the Miss Michelle because I kind of feel like, it's just not me.
Hmm.
So I just ended up coming up with Gia Michelle because it felt more of like who I am. So now I go by Gia Michelle.
Awesome, awesome.
Hmm.
Go ahead, Mike. Did you have a question?
I was going to ask, going back to that first match, you talked about how emotional it was. When you remember it, though, does it go by in a flash, or do you like remember every little thing about it? Like when you look back at it, did it feel like it flew by, or was it like did it take a while to kind of go through?
Yeah, it felt like it flew by, honestly. Like I just remember like thinking like afterwards, I was like, man, that was it. Like I already have my match. Dang, like that's crazy. Like, wow. But it did go pretty fast. I remember I didn't even remember hearing anybody because I was so much like into the zone that I
Yeah.
was just focused on like, doing my best that I just like blocked everything out. Like literally it just felt like nobody was there and it was just a match. But it did go by so fast. It's pretty insane.
So
Tommy, were you there to get out? Because I'm assuming if she didn't hear anybody, you weren't there. But
I
I don't.
probably was there, but if this is the same era I'm thinking about, Key Vibes was a heavy, heavy heel at that point, and I was getting on her last nerves more than anything.
Ah,
So,
that okay. That makes sense.
if this is the show I'm thinking about, Key Vibes was ready to kill me multiple times, and and Gia was just like, wow, that dude's loud. So, which is what I'm used to
Yeah.
hearing more than anything. And you started in 2021, but you were already part of WoW Women of Wrestling. How did that feel to get chosen to be part of that roster? Because that roster actually, I know not people watch it, which is a crime because it has some solid talent on it. What
Oh,
was it like to be picked for WoW?
I mean, honestly, if I feel truly blessed to be, a part of WoW. I love the fact that it's like an all women's roster.
Right.
It's pretty empowering, and I still feel like I'm on a high to this day. Whenever I'm even there, like I look down at the purple mat and I like have like, oh wow, like damn, am I really here? Like this is like crazy. But I feel very grateful and blessed. Like it's just awesome and amazing that, I got chosen to be a part of WoW. But yeah, and then so soon in my career, but yeah, I'm loving it.
As what getting chosen for a promotion like that so soon is was it scarier than you thought, or was it okay? You walk in, it was okay, or how did that feel, especially when you started?
Definitely scary, but definitely I always push myself. You gotta have courage to just
Mhm.
go for whatever it is that you want, following your dreams. You gotta go for it. You can't hold back and get into your head or anything. But definitely scary, but it's helped me evolve as a person and as a performer, as a wrestler. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How did that come about? How did the opportunity for WoW kind of uh, come around?
At the time, back in last year, WoW was relaunching with Paramount, and
Right.
I had gotten chosen to have a tryout, and I had made the tryout and got the phone call from David McLean, and it was, I mean, I was speechless. Like it was pretty cool.
Mhm. That sounds awesome. I can't
Yeah,
imagine just like you're 2 years in already, and now you're another fixture for like I'll consider it a major wrestling promotion because it's on TV. It's got all this exposure.
right.
It's great.
Oh yeah.
So going back to hybrid for a second, when they created the hybrid women's championship, which you are still the current champion, how did it feel to win that belt? I mean, it's the school you trained at. It's one of the first titles they created. That and the tag titles. But you're always going to have that distinction of being the first champion. How's that feel?
I mean, it's an honor, like just to be like the third woman graduate and then also like the first hybrid women's champion. Like that's a big deal, like it's a big title to hold on. So I feel honored, absolutely. And then like also with the other women that are still on the come up that are getting ready to graduate too, it just feels like I have to like set the bar pretty high. So it just feels good being like an example and just being the women's champ.
And you said you're the third graduate, and for people that don't know, that would be also Key Vibes and Maddie
Mhm.
Rankowski, which is the match that y'all had for that hybrids women's championship. Was a triple
It
threat,
was a
right?
triple threat.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. So does that give you a little smile to know that of the three, you were the third, but you got that title,
Oh yeah.
you won
Yeah,
that
for
match?
sure. Yeah, because I came in a little after them and watched how they work and I did my thing and it's like, hey, guess who wanted to be the champ? Me.
I do remember two pictures that were posted. on the hybrid social media was one of the three of you arguing with the belts back with the belt backstage, and then one, and then I think Marvel captioned it. I had to make them stand still and take this picture. And so like he's like he was the angry
Yep.
father. Y'all just take the family picture so we can send it off for everyone to see.
Yeah.
I think Marvel really does tend to be the overworked father some days.
Oh yeah, for sure. He has to make sure we're all in check. So.
Well, so because I like to get on his nerves, I'll go ahead and ask, how is he as a coach? You know.
Marvel, he's awesome. I'm another person. I'm so grateful. He's a pretty cool coach. He's taught me a lot of cool things, and I have a lot of respect for him. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So, in going to more recent activity with you, even facing Izzy Moreno at the last hybrid experience, how does that feel now, knowing that you are not? I mean, I don't want to say veteran, but I mean, yeah, veteran for her, because I was only like her eighth match maybe, and you're
Uh-huh.
you're helping bring her up. How does that feel, knowing that you're doing for someone else what someone else did for you already?
I mean, it's pretty cool. It was actually a really fun match. I had fun working with Izzy. But I mean, at the end, I'm still the champ.
I mean,
So hey,
hey,
but I mean, what did you guys think of the match? I know you guys were. I heard you, Tommy. Definitely heard you out there.
Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. Mike,
Come
you want to
on,
go
it must
first?
be Tommy.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, not only working with her, but you also had Callie in your corner,
Young one to
Yes.
come up.
backing you up. Another young one who's coming up. Um, she seems to be following more, maybe your and Maddie's route than say an Izzy route.
Yeah.
Um,
A little bit, a little
she's definitely got the attitude,
bit.
um, and even she's not very tall, but she is still very scary because she's got that Latin fire, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a little scary. Is that your doing? Is that a little bit of you in there?
A little bit, yeah. Most of the time she's a little firecracker.
I love how you go ahead and claim it. That's a little bit of me in there.
Yeah,
But no,
Yeah.
I really do think the match is great, because I've said this about Izzy, and I can say the same about you. Just for the short amount of time that both of you have been wrestling, it 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 only shows a little bit. For Izzy,
Mhm.
Izzy, of course, being so young and just starting. But for you, the I do remember seeing some of the green in you at first, but I haven't seen it in a long time. It really does. So like, if someone would have told me you've been doing this for multiple years at this point, I would absolutely believe it, and I think other people would too. I think very few people realize that you started so recently, because it doesn't show in your, not even just in your in ring work, but in your character either. How you come across is like, oh, she's been doing this a while, but no, you're still recent with it, and you really do come off as a veteran a good number of times.
Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah. And I would think, to kind of add to that real quick, to kind of take it back to hybrid. Me and Tommy have been wrestling fans for all of our lives as well, and we've heard a lot of things from wrestlers over the years about what there's like. And there's a lot of old stories about going to wrestling schools that basically took their money, taught them a few things, and just threw them out there to the wolves. And that doesn't seem to be the experience y'all have at hybrid. It seems to be like they make sure before they let you go and start wrestling that you are ready to do that and represent them well. And from everyone we've met, everyone we've talked to, you can see it. And I think that's why, for those of you who have trained there, at least from us, it shows pretty quickly that y'all don't look like y'all just started. Y'all look like you've been doing it a while.
Mhm. Oh yeah, definitely. We hold like a really high standard. We take our training serious too, just to make sure like everyone's safe and we're on like pretty much almost the same level.
Yeah,
So yeah, training is a big, big part of, going out there and wrestling, because you want to make sure, you could trust the other person while you're wrestling them, to make sure everything goes smooth and good and have a good show.
right.
Yeah. I know Hybrid does a lot of seminars that you guys get like a lot of experts to come through. Have you had a favorite like seminar you've attended through Hybrid, or even like maybe a veteran or someone who's giving you great advice, like that stands out in your mind?
I know a lot of like the graduates have helped me a lot, like Casey Blackrose, Brandon Weiss, they've been very helpful. Even Zakai, Devin, Key Vibes, like I pretty much we all work really good together, and it's been really fun. We've had a lot of great seminars. Like I can't even choose my favorite one. There's been so many things that I just kind of like pick everything out of and kind of put it into my craft. Like I
Mhm.
know we've had one was really helpful is with Ace Steels. That one was really, really good. And like I
Mm.
still remember everything that he kind of like critiqued on seeing our matches, and it's carried me through like on my current matches now. And I'm like, oh, let me keep that in mind, you know? So it's very
Yeah.
helpful, like with anyone. I just try to pick something to help me with where I am now. And it's so useful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's 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 fantasy book something here. You are wherever you want to be. Who if you could pick anyone, who are your dream opponents? Like if you could pick someone right now to face, who are your dream opponents to face? Like that you just could pick them right
Man,
now.
wow, that's a tough question. I would like to wrestle like Melina or like Mickey James, or I know they're kind of on the scene too. Trinity would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
those
there's
would
so
be great.
many, but on the top of my head, that's what I could think of right now. It would be pretty awesome to wrestle them.
Mm.
I mean, off the top of your head, that's a solid three on the list. I mean, yeah, for every time Mickey James says she's retiring, I'm just kind of like, no, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
Wrestling still needs you. Don't do that.
yes.
So what would you say your ultimate goal is? We're like, where would you like see yourself in maybe 5 or 10 years?
Of course, still wrestling.
Mhm.
Also, maybe, also helping others, as well, the women, maybe even getting a shot for like WWE, that would be pretty cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, just being, passing on what I know to others as well would be something I would like to do as well. Maybe even traveling the world too, going to Japan.
Like Stardom or
Yeah, that'd be
yeah.
really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've always said I always feel like pretty much all the women come out of hybrid would do well in Stardom. You, Maddie, Key. I think all of you fit the style that Stardom portrays. I think you guys all do great out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of WoW, and obviously you come and do the hybrid and the local shows. Have you wrestled or been to a lot of promotions out of state or even throughout Texas? How many different places have you been able to go, kind of in the last year or two?
I haven't been out of Texas much, um, but just mostly here in like the Texas
Mhm.
area. But I would
Okay.
like to venture out, like, the East Coast, West Coast,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to like to definitely venture that way.
Were there any promotions in particular in mind in either place, or you just want to just if you can get out there, just go out there?
Yeah, just get out there, kind of just put my name on the map would be pretty cool.
Because I feel like you have the attitude and like I said, the expertise even at this stage of your career that you would do well in any of those places because you like I said you have the veteran vibe already and you're you're only 2 years in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what y'all guys have done out of hybrid. I love the stuff y'all do. Um, we were there last Friday for that show when you had the match with Izzy, and me and Tommy got to be in there a little bit beforehand. We're staying till pretty much they're like, "Hey guys, we're putting all the stuff away. We gotta go."
Mm. That's
Yeah.
good.
But no, like we appreciate all you do, and like Tommy said, like you're for being so little time of actually wrestling. You look like you've been doing it a long time. So
Thank you.
we look forward to seeing you, yeah, as you go forward and what else you have to get done.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Got anything coming up that you want to let the fans know about? Any shows? Anything coming up? Coming on the way? Or
Yeah, I have a show this weekend actually in Castroville. I'm actually going to be wrestling Maddie, so that's going to be really fun. I love working with
Mm,
her.
awesome.
And then I know next month we have on November 17th
hmm
another hybrid show.
hmm
So that'll be up to I believe that's going to be it's going to be me and Caliente and versus Izzy and Key Vibes. So we'll
Ooh,
look out for that
maybe a
because
little
me and
preview. There we
Caliente
go.
are gonna
that's
win.
that's gonna be fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be fun.
So it's kind of interesting now because we talked a little bit about earlier about you Maddie and Key, kind of those three, and I'm sure y'all kind of have a rivalry. It seems like there's a budding one between Izzy and Callie, and they just keep facing each other in different versions of tags. And I know there was a sixth person this past weekend
Yeah,
with the treats and uh, Devin and Sakai. So that may be the next generation of hybrid
Yeah.
rivalries
I
that just
agree.
keeps wherever they go.
Yeah.
I feel like all you hybrid students are just gonna like for the rest of your careers, they're just gonna somehow just keep circling back to each other. You're gonna be 30 years in, you're gonna be like, okay, the Gia Michel retirement tour. Who's she facing? Key vibes. Damn it! I
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah.
it's like, that was
They,
our first match.
they're gonna pull an Edge and Christian with each other
Yeah.
years from now.
Right, yeah.
And Marvel and Dalmar are
Hey,
gonna
Maddie.
walk in on Walkers, and Dalmar's still gonna cut a promo. I remember when.
Be bad.
The best. Stop
Oh,
shaking. The
man.
best. No, but
Oh,
it really does speak to not just hybrid, but all of you students who go in there. I haven't seen a hybrid student who hasn't, I said, put their best foot forward all the time, and you're definitely on that list of people who I can tell really loves what you do, and you care about what you do, and it's really awesome to see.
Thank you.
Yeah. All your social medias will post all that, but did you want to tell them anywhere specifically they can find you? I know you're on IG and everywhere. Is like anywhere specific that you want them to look
Yeah.
for you at?
Yeah, so on IG, I'm under Gia Michelle underscore. And then I also have my WoW account, WOW underscore GG Gianni. Those are both the same on Instagram and Twitter. So
Okay.
yeah, you can find me there.
Yep. Well, guys, you heard it here first. You got to be on the lookout for Gia Michelle here. She's on the come up, and we just happened to get the interview first. Don't worry, all you guys. We did it first. I really just wanted to say that because I really do believe that like the rise Maddie had. I from your work ethic and as you are, I don't see any reason you can't have that exact same kind of just shoot up the card, like go from the opening match and suddenly you're the main event of like every show. I can definitely see it happening.
are you giving a PSA, Tommy?
Um, that depends. Who are you going to tell that I said that to, so they'll beat me up later? Because that's the thing when,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's a
oh,
long list. It's a long list. So
No, that's fair.
you can even mention this to Lance Hoyt, and he want to beat me up anyway just because I was still talking. So.
oh man.
True.
Oh no, Lance Hoyt hates me like legit.
Doesn't legitimately hate you.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Just a little.
just a little. I mean, he might not actually kill me, but he'd think about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to take my time. But Jay, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and you talking to us, and we cannot wait to see what you're going to do next.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me too. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank
Thank you
you.
so much for being on. Ansel Hills Baby Faces for Big Mike. I'm Tommy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. And as always, remember, pro wrestling is real, and people
People
are
are
fake.
fake.
See you soon, guys.